to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember, when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show!
Welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 183. I'm your host, Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, Mr. Talk to People. Jamil Damji is on an airplane right now as we speak, safely coming home from his trip. And Morby will be jumping on shortly. He's doing a meetup in Florida, and he's going to join us for Wholesale Hotline. Now, let's start with this. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Let me say that again. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. I love that quote. The reason I love that quote is because that's exactly the real estate business. That quote is for real estate entrepreneurs, right? If nobody's sending you referrals and you're not getting people to call you for opportunities, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because there's only 3 ways to generate opportunities as a real estate entrepreneur, right? You can spend money. You can buy conversations, people to call you. You can build up a reputation and get referrals for people to refer you business, or you can go out and earn it. You can go out and find opportunities every single day. It's called being proactive. It's called going after these opportunities every single day, picking up the phone and with massive imperfect action going and building up a pipeline of opportunities so that you can consistently close deals. All right? Consistently bring in income. Because here's how it starts. There's a few steps to this, okay? Let's get real clear here. Step number 1 is you have to find your tribe. You have to find your people. You got to find people that are going to support you, that are doing more than you, that you connect with. And it's right here. That's the whole point of these lives that we do every single Monday. And we have for almost 4 years, right? This is so that you can find people to connect with so that you don't seem crazy. Because the fact is, you go to barbecues, you go and talk to your old college roommates, you talk to people that you went to high school with, whatever it is, and you're excited about wholesaling real estate and you're excited about being a real estate entrepreneur, and you can literally see their eyes gloss over because they have no idea what you're talking about. So it's absolutely critical that you surround yourself with people that understand what you're doing, because they're doing it as well, but they're doing it at a higher level, a few steps ahead of you, because they're going to pull you along. Because the more that you give, the more that you receive. That's the whole go-giver mentality, right? The more that we give, the more that we receive. So you're going out there, you're squatting up. That's the first step. Number 2, what model do you want to follow? What model? It's already done. Everything's already been done, guys. There's nothing new getting invented. It's already been done. It gets repackaged. It gets renamed. It gets whatever, but it's already been done. So what model are you going to follow? Because if you just go out there and try to do it yourself, it's going to take a lot longer. That's just a fact. So what model are you going to follow? The third, the exciting one. This is when things start sparking. This is when things start flying, is when you get proof of concept, when you close your first deal. When out of the ether, out of the air, all of a sudden you make income from a conversation that you had. It's incredible. Oh my gosh. You know that you can do it, whether it be $1, whether it be $100,000. It doesn't matter. But you know that you can do it. It's proof that you can do it. And next, it's just doing it over and over and over and building consistency. That's the next step of this thing. Build the consistency so that you can do this business full time. Because if you truly want to be an entrepreneur and you don't want to work for somebody else, then you have to get that consistency so that you feel comfortable and confident moving forward, knowing that your income is coming from your efforts in this business, right? And then next, from there, you've got proof of concept and you fire your boss. You fire your boss once you get that consistency because you don't need the income from a job anymore. You're building your own business. And it's fantastic. And the momentum's going and the momentum's going and the momentum's going. And then the momentum's going so strong that you start being a magnet to bring on talent, to bring on other people. All of a sudden, people that start seeing you're standing a lot taller. You're paying things off. You're a little bit brighter. The bags in your eyes are gone. There's stars in your eyes. There's electricity coming out of your fingertips because you don't work for anybody anymore. You work for yourself, and people want to work with you. They see that you're doing something special, and they want to be around you. And then all of a sudden, you start hiring people that are better at certain roles than you ever could be, and you start firing yourself from all of those different roles until the point where you truly are working on the business and not in the business. And that's when you get real exciting stuff happen, right? That's when now you're rich, but it's time to become wealthy. It's time to take all of that earned income and put it into assets that is going to earn you that passive income. It's going to earn you that long-term wealth. It's going to be that legacy builder. And let's not get this twisted. We're not leaving money to our kids. We're not leaving them houses. We're not leaving them apartments. We're not leaving them a bank that they can just sit in and be able to run once you're gone. No, they see you. They see what you do on a daily basis. They see the transition that you've made. They see your story. They see the things that you're doing. They inherit your passion. They inherit your skills. They inherit your ability to go out there and not just be another cog in the wheel. They see that you've got flexibility of schedule. They see that you've got all of these exciting relationships. Somehow you know everybody. Somehow everybody's glad to see you. Somehow when you walk into the room, people notice. That's what your kids see. That's the legacy that you get because the money's going to be gone. That all gets pushed to the middle and whatever. But it's the lasting legacy that you can do something special in the time that you have on this planet. Isn't that incredible? That's the whole point of being an entrepreneur. That's the whole point of going out and earning income. That's the whole point of building wealth. Control the time that you have left and show the people that you love that they can too. And really comes down to building your skills as a real estate entrepreneur. And that's what I want to talk about and then open this up. Guys, we're here for a few different reasons. Number one is to squad up. That is the motto of the show, is to squad up in the comments section. Let everybody know where you live. Let them know what you're doing. Let them know that you're being proactive. Whatever it is, if you have questions, put them in the comments here. That's the second part because we're going to answer a lot of questions here. I'm going to try to get through as many questions as possible and pace as well. Right? We're going to get through as many questions. We don't want you to leave the show with an unanswered question. We're going to get to as many as possible. Okay. Number three is I want to ring this victory bell right here. I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate whatever imperfect action that you have taken this week. I want to celebrate the deals that you've closed. If you've talked to a property owner for the first time ever, I want to celebrate it. I want to see how many times I can ring this victory bell. I want everybody that listens to this as a podcast to like cringe every time that they're worried that this bell is going to just explode their eardrums while they're walking on the treadmill. That's how much I want to celebrate your victories. So let us know if you're closing deals. Let us know if you've overcome a challenge. We want to know, right? And the last thing, I want to give you the instructions that you need that you can go and take action right away. You can go and implement right away. Because the fact is, listen, you go to a meetup, you go to see somebody speak on stage, you listen to a podcast, you watch a YouTube video, you really want to make money faster and more consistent, listen to this advice. Everything comes down to, is it education, is it entertainment, or is it instruction? Education, entertainment, instruction. You want to make the most money fast? Be dumb. Take the instruction, filter everything through. How can I implement this into my business now? If you're watching a lot of stuff and it's inspirational, if you're watching a lot of stuff and it's very entertaining, if you're watching all this stuff and it's very educational, very by the book, very theory, It's not going to get you anywhere. I'm just telling you. It's nice. It might get you pumped up, but the instruction, the actual action items, that's what gets you paid. That's the difference between being busy and being productive. So if you'll allow me, I want to go through the 20 skills to build as a real estate entrepreneur. And it's a lot. It's heavy. I did a whole series of videos. It's coming out next week. It's 6 videos. It's going to break it all down. But I want to give you a little sneak peek, and I want to go through the first one and break down time management. And then we're going to get to all your questions. Cool? Awesome. Matt, if you'll change the microphone, please. And the camera, please. There we go. Here it is. 20 skills. This is for you guys as well. 20 skills for building your real estate business. The more you have these skills, the more strength you have in these skills, the more that you build up these skills, the stronger real estate entrepreneur you're going to be. All right. It starts with time management. And we're going to break this one down because this is the scariest one. This is the one that throws everybody off. Lead generation. How are you finding your opportunities? Pre-qualifying opportunities. How do you make sure that you're not wasting time? How do you know if you're spending time with people that have the potential to do business with you? Lead follow-up, right? What do you do once you have a lead? There's no reason in going out there and putting all the efforts into finding opportunities, pre-qualifying them, and then never talking to them again. Property valuation. This is what Jamil Damji is the master at. He's doing a whole master class. You can find it on his Instagram. He's doing it for the next 2 days. It's absolutely bananas. You got to do it. Property valuation. Recognizing potential and exit strategies. This is levels to the game. This is championship type levels. Recognizing different potential. Not everything is a fix and flip. Not everything is a long-term rental. You have to understand recognizing potential and exit strategies. Not everything is just a pure cash offer, right? Repair, renovation, valuation. This one trips up a ton of people. I don't know how much work needs to go into this. I better go and put it into this Excel calculator that I downloaded for free. Property fix-up calculator valuation. Okay, there it is. That's what I'm going to run my numbers. It's nonsense. Knock it off. There's easier ways to do it. Handling objections. All this is a question in the mind of somebody that you're speaking to that hasn't been answered. But what's the difference between an objection and a condition? Closing skills, the ability to get the agreement signed, the way to negotiate to the point where people naturally close themselves. Absolutely incredible. Offer presentation and negotiating the contracts. There's little nuances, little details in every single contract that you can play around with so that everybody feels like they're winning when you get a signed agreement. Cash buyer database. This is for us wholesalers. And listen, if you're not a wholesaler, if you're a buy and hold, if you're a flipper, whatever else, you still want to know these things. You still want to know it, but this is Wholesale Hotline, so I'm not even going to bother with that. Negotiating with your buyers. How do you hold the power? How do you not get steamrolled by all those experienced guys with the mustaches and the bellies, and they've done 15,000 deals, and they're going to tell you what they're going to offer you? Knock it off. You're more powerful. Escrow and title. How to pick out the best escrow and title officers and closing attorneys. Building your team. When to do it, how to do it, what to pay them, how to keep them accountable. Boom. Business planning. This is much different. Let me just say something about business planning, and this is for everybody here. You have no competition. The fact is, there's between 10 and 15 million properties that are in distress at all times. That's the U.S. Census. 6 to 10%, depending on where you live in the country, are in distress at all times. Okay? There's far more properties than there are investors. Certainly than there are wholesalers. A study done by Batch said that there was only between 50 and 70,000 wholesalers. And I will tell you this, if you were to do that study 10 years ago, it was probably 5,000. Okay? There's not that many. There's way more opportunities than there. So the point of this is the only competition you have is with your own business plan. Do you have a business plan? Because all a business plan is your goals and the roadmap to get there. What's your financial goal, and how are you going to go out and get those deals? How are you going to hit those goals? That's all business plan. That's the only competition you have. You want to compete with somebody else or beat somebody else out and make more in your own market? It doesn't matter. It only matters how are you doing against your business plan. Because if you're looking at everybody else, you're not putting the time and attention on your own goals. So think about that. Love it. Business planning, tracking your numbers, critical. Mindset. Come on. Listen, you want to strengthen your mindset? Strengthen your skills. Because people that have incredible skills have incredible mindsets. That's an absolute fact. Goal setting, motivation, money management, profitability, and understanding personality types at the end. That helps both with your clients and with your staff. So let's look at this real quick, and then we're going to open this thing up because I want to build momentum. Are we doing okay? We good? We getting anything out of this? All right, good. Let's go to time management real quick. This is just one of the 20, but I think that this is really critical because there's a lot of people here that are part-time. There's a lot of people here that, you're kind of getting ready to almost get started to get going, to start some action and doing some stuff. So let's make it very clear, and let's really work on time management, because time management, priority management, energy management, attention management, put it all under the same umbrella. You know what I mean when I say time management. It's all kind of baked into the same pie there, all right? 80% of your time should be in income-producing activities. 80%. 20% should be in income-servicing activities, okay? This is any business. This is any entrepreneur that you want to be. 80% has to be income-producing. But as real estate wholesalers, if we don't have any deals, it should be 100% income-producing activity. So what does that mean? That means that you're having conversations and making offers with property owners. That's it. That's your only focus. And the beautiful thing is there's 1 million people here that are live. We've got 451 people here live that would connect with you if you had a deal. It's incredible. So if you're kind of stuck in paralysis by analysis because you're like, okay, what happens if I actually catch a deal? All the answers are right here with the people that are commenting next to you. Truly, there's people in your own marketplace. You could go into any group in Facebook that's a real estate investing group and find people that'll help you get through this. But go out and hunt. We're spending so much time gathering information and making sure that we're going to be perfect at every conversation, and making sure that our lists are clean, and making sure that we understand values and we understand all these other things. Go find a property owner that, one, has made the decision that they're going to sell their property. That's key. That's fundamental. We're not convincing anybody of anything. And two, that they'll actually let us ask them questions about the property. Right? They're in some sort of distress. They have a problem that we can solve with our offer. That's all we do. That's all we do in the beginning. You could go out right now and find unlimited opportunities just driving around your neighborhoods finding ugly properties, let alone all the other tools like batch leads and PropStream and Privy that'll literally show you all the properties that show signs of distress. Whether that be financial distress, whether that be emotional distress, or whether it just be the distress of the condition of the property. It's unlimited. It's all out there. It's all waiting for you. It's all waiting for you. This is the anti-venom for everything. It's just conversations and offers. It is. It truly is. It cures all. Next, creative avoidance. Woo, you guys ever deal with creative avoidance? All of a sudden, you start, I'll make a call, but you know what? I'm going to take out the trash, or you know what? I'm going to watch this video, or I'm going to go listen to this podcast, or I'm going to, do some other things. I'm going to look through this contract one more time. I'm going to do this other thing. Creative avoidance. It's sneaky. It sneaks up and it takes your productivity. It's like, oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, this seems like something that's very important for me to do right now. It's not. Talk to people. That's it. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do to start building this thing up. Next, 20 to 40 hours. You got to find it. There's 168 hours in a week. If you are full-time, you need a minimum of 40 hours in this. And when you're getting started, it's probably 70. I'm just going to hit you straight with it. But if you're obsessed, if you're truly obsessed with this dream that you have of being a real estate entrepreneur, to being a wildly successful real estate entrepreneur, it flies by. You don't even notice. You're like, holy cow, this is absolutely incredible. But if you're part-time, you got to find 20 hours. You got to find it. You got to find it in the nooks and crannies of your schedule. You got to find the 20 hours where you can commit to this business minimum. Minimum, whether that's at lunch, whether that's after work, whether that's on the weekends, doesn't matter. Find it. 20 hours minimum. Next, what days are you going to work? Look at your schedule. Look at your calendar for the month, for the year, and figure out the days that you're going to work. And then just work on those days. It doesn't have to be all, you make the rules, but work on the days that you're supposed to work. Look at your month, look at your year, and work on the days that you work. Because what happens is you're going to go out there, you're going to take my advice of putting almost all your time to income producing activities, which is just talking to people, having conversations and making offers, and you're going to be successful. And then all of a sudden, you're going to get this $15,500 check wired into your account. I guess it wouldn't be a check, a wire into your account, and then a $40,000, and then a $20,000, and then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to take some time off. Oh, I'm going to put these dogs up, and I'm going to just chill. Don't do it. Terrible kick. Don't do it. All right. Work on the days that you're supposed to work. That's going to build the consistency. All right. Next, Post Malone. Post your schedule. Post it. Post your schedule so everybody can see. Well, my wife doesn't support me. My husband doesn't know what I'm trying to do. You didn't tell him. You watched a Wholesale Hotline. You got jacked up. You got so pumped up. And then you're like, I'm going to just do this wholesale thing. And you didn't explain to him what it was or what it meant to the family or when you're going to do this or when you're going to set aside time to make it sacred time. Then nothing interrupts you going out there and finding opportunities. Have the conversation. Post your schedule so that everybody knows, so that it's not a mystery for everybody. Got it? Next. This is the toughest one. This is the toughest one, is you don't have a boss. You're your own boss. Nobody's telling you to do this. You don't have to do any of this. You don't ever have to talk to a property owner ever. You don't have to go out and find opportunities. You don't have to go and have uncomfortable conversations. You certainly don't need to be rejected by strangers if you don't want to. You have no boss. So who's gonna know if you don't show up? Who's going to know if you don't achieve your business plan? Who's going to know if you didn't hit the goal of talking to 10 new people today? You're your boss. So get some accountability. Find people that are doing more than you. It's going to keep you going. It's going to keep you going when you're kind of like, well, nobody's watching. You know, I don't have to do anything. You don't have to. This is all your choice. But if you're going to really choose and really commit and really stay disciplined to the schedule that you have and really make it sacred time so that you don't post a schedule and then all of a sudden do nothing during the time that you're supposed to be working that schedule, there's no boss. There's no accountability. You got to do this. You got to have that passion. You got to have that pilot. Nobody's going to inspire you. Nobody's going to be there just pulling you through this whole thing every single day, making sure that you do it. You're 100% responsible for your success or your failure. 100%. So take ownership of that. And it's really awesome when you win. It's really awesome when you win. Because then you know that you did this. You're a changed person. You're a stronger person. You've got more skills. Woo! Guilt-free. Guess what happens when you work when you're supposed to work? Guess what happens when you post your schedule and you don't let creative avoidance go up and you do income-producing activities? Exhaustion is the best pillow. Done. Exhaustion is the best pillow. When you get done what you said that you were going to be done, what you were going to do, you're guilt-free. You're absolutely guilt-free. You're not worried about it. You're not worried about taking off the weekend. You're not worried about going out at night. You're not worried about taking a vacation, doing whatever, because you did what you were supposed to do. It's guilt-free. And that's the problem that we have. We push everything off. We push everything off. We push everything off. And then we feel guilty. And then we stay in the space of guilty and we put our energy towards this guilt and it doesn't actually do anything because nobody's going to pay us for our own guilt. They only pay us for the income that we provide. So go guilt-free. And imagine this. This is the last one. Imagine I'm just standing outside your window and I just watch you all day and I just take notes. 8 to 9 did this, 9 to 10 did this. Imagine if I stood behind you. No joking. But imagine if I just shadowed you all day long on a day that you're supposed to work. Imagine your greatest hero, business hero, mentor, whatever it is, just stood behind you and watched you all day, would they be proud? Would they be proud? Would they be like, oh my gosh, this batteries come included with this gal. I mean, this is a big engine on this. This is absolutely incredible. This person is going to do amazing things. Or are they going to be like, oh man, there's a lot of fear here. There's a lot of self-doubt here. There's a lot of distraction here that's going to take them off. You know what I mean? So just think about that as you're putting together your schedule and work when you're supposed to work. Have conversations, make offers, and you win. That's it. By the way, that's just one of the 20 skills to develop to being an unbelievable real estate entrepreneur. Awesome. We're rocking and rolling now. All right. Woo. Here we go. How was that? Guys, we're going to start going through some questions. So make sure that you put your questions in the chat so that we can answer those questions. Make sure that you put in any successes that you've had so that we can celebrate you, and make sure that you're squadding up. Kim Young cracks us open with our first question of Wholesale Hotline number 183. By the way, guys, if you are getting value, make sure you hit the subscribe button on each Jamil Damji, Pace Morby, and myself, Brent Daniels YouTube channel. If you're just watching it in Facebook or other channels, make sure you check them all out to be well-rounded in this business and get what you need. Because I'm telling you, between one or all of the channels, you have everything that you need to be able to really, one, go and get your first deal, certainly, but build the momentum. Awesome. Hey, Brett. I love that. Got 2 deals in the pipeline, $170K deal with 10,500 assignment fee already. Got earnest and a $57,000 deal, $12K assignment fee. Assignment fee will be receiving earnest money tonight. Kim, you are out of control. You're a wild entrepreneurial monster rhinoceros. Here we go. Oh no. How do these always break, man? I'm too strong for these bells. Congratulations, Kim. That's absolutely incredible. That's, what was that? 12 and 10, 12 and 10, 22,500 on the board for Kim. Who's got more? I want to know who's doing cool things. Vicente. Quick question. What do the estimate numbers on Zillow and Redfin mean exactly? That is, so they put together an algorithm that pulls the highest values in that area, and then they do an average. And so that would be the estimated value if that property was totally fixed up. So what we do is, Matt, are we able to put like little things in here, the graphics? What to offer? So basically this, for everybody out there, if you're wondering how to know if, let me see if that's, yeah, you can put that, but I'll make some adjustments because the market is heating up, guys, but this is usually what we use. If this estimate is 250,000 or more, we're at 60%, not 50. So mark that off. It's actually 60% now because the market's going bananas. If it's between 249 and 100,000, we go 40%. And if it's under 100,000, we go 10%. Keep that at 10%. Just keep that at 10%. Yeah. And so that makes it easy. And if you really just want to get a well-rounded number, get the Zestimate, get the Redfin estimate, and get the Realtor.com estimate. Add them all up, divide by 3 to get the average, and then 60, 40, 10. 60, 40, 10 based on the price. Okay. And that'll get you really, really close. And let me give you a tip here. Okay. Somebody goes, hey, what will you give me for my property? Right? How much will you give me? How much will you give me? Anytime that you ask somebody, would you consider an offer on their property? There's only 6 responses they can give you. Yes, no, maybe. How much will you give me? Who are you? And how'd you get my number? That's it. Right? If you're cold calling them. And so with the how'd you get my number or how much will you give me? and they're really pushing you, and you're pre-qualifying them a little bit, and you hit them with, oh, you know what, the condition of the property really factors in. I want to make sure that I give you credit for any improvements that you've done to the property. So can you tell me, what remodeling have you done to the kitchen and bathrooms in the last 5 years? Right? Powerful question, open-ended question, gets them talking. The longer they talk, the more comfortable they're going to be with you. As long as you're actively listening, you're saying, sure, oh, great, yep. As long as you're confirming and approving, you're not building in friction by telling them they're wrong or arguing with them, and you're using your tone of voice to be your body language, right? If they talk slow, you slow it down. If they talk fast, you speed it up, right? If they talk with a lot of enthusiasm, you bring it out, right? All of those things. You have all of those things, and they still are like, how much will you give me? How much will you give me? What I want you to do is you can pull up the Zestimate, and you can either by just copy and pasting the address and putting it in there, or by a lot of the dialers have a little button for it. Thank you, Matt. He's fixing the bell because we're going to have some more celebrations, I'm sure. Well, we got celebrations, he tells me. Oh, man, this is the best night of the week, I'm telling you. What I want you to do is grab that Zestimate. And if it's above 250, I want you to say this. Listen to me. Use this. I'm looking around the neighborhood, and it looks like your neighbors in similar condition that are similar size are selling for around, boom, hit them with that 60%, 40%, 10%. Any one of them, depending on what that Zestimate is. That's going to they're going to instantly be like, oh my gosh, I would never. That's so ridiculous. Or they're going to be like, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Okay, so use it. I know that that's a long-winded answer, Vicente Renteria. Great name. What a powerful name. That's awesome. Use that. Use that to pull out the numbers so that you can understand what their expectations are, so then you know what to do with that lead. Okay, awesome. Income servicing. Great question, Elizabeth. So she's talking about 80% of your time should be income producing, 20% should be income servicing. That's the paperwork. That's the getting the information over to title. That's them sending you some information to fill out. That's the you need to schedule a showing for your cash buyers. That's the they need the seller needs some help moving some furniture, some just little things that are nuanced. It's not you finding new opportunities and moving down the line to convert that into a signed agreement. Admin stuff. Yeah. There you go, Elizabeth. Awesome. Sherry, what system do you recommend when beginning your wholesaling journey? System's kind of a vague word, so I'm going to try to decipher this. Number one, I would say just the easiest is I would drive for dollars. I would literally get the Deal Machine app. I would go driving for dollars. I would find the ugliest properties that I can. I would get their phone numbers. You can either get it through Deal Machine. I like getting my numbers through batchskiptracing.com, and then just call them up. Ask them if they would consider an offer on their property. The number one answer to that, Sherry, is you need to talk to people. You need to be having conversations. And again, there's only 3 ways to have conversations. You buy them through marketing, you wait for them through referrals, or you earn them through going out and being proactive by picking up the phone or knocking on the doors. So that's it. And if you need anything, Sherry, we got a ton of stuff at wholesalinginc.com. If you want to check it out, we've got a ton of free training in there, a ton of downloads. It's an unbelievable amount of resources there. Alan, hey, Brent, just closed a property last week, closing on a deal today for a flip. Notary just walked into my house. We were closing on another one on the 28th, making a total of $128,000 this month. Oh my God. These guys are here. These guys are in Phoenix. Come on. Give it up. Yeah, give it up. Alan Martinez. That is awesome. You guys are phenomenal. Young guys living in Phoenix, crushing it, absolutely doing amazing things. Congratulations. Now, here's the thing. Whenever you have a big month, the challenge is this. That's your new minimum standard. Okay? You make $128K this month. Oh, wait, proof of concept. You know you could do it. That's your minimum standard. Now you got to keep building and building and building. OG Candy Mac, I got a land deal in Jackson, Florida, listed for 153 down to 110K for me. 110K deal for OG Candy Mac. That's incredible. Sorry if I didn't decipher that right, but I see 110K for me, which is phenomenal. Al Mantini just closed 2 deals, 44,250 in a fee, and have 1 under contract inspection tomorrow, 26,700 if all goes well. We're out of control tonight. You guys just keep clapping. You know, you guys are going to be sick of it. You're going to be like, I don't want to clap anymore. What's that? Yeah, I'm trying to break the bell. That's right. Paul, I'm sitting in the audience, Brent. There he is. Yes. Okay. Close a 200K property in Nashville today. Come on up. Made 5,000. Have another closing tomorrow in Memphis. Well, you ring your own victory bell here, brother. Come on, Paul. Look at this. Give it up for him. You don't clap for the guy that's in the room. That's awesome. Show everybody your shirt. Look at that. Look at that shirt. There it is. I love it. I love it. Congratulations. That's awesome. Nice. Rhea. Question, when working with agents, how do you calculate the right price to tell an investor, considering the ARV, agent commission, and a reasonable amount for you, the wholesaler? Well, I'm not really sure what you mean by when working with agents, how do you calculate the right price to tell an investor? Typically what you want to do, okay, I kind of understand where you're going here. All right, so this is the numbers. If you really want to break this thing down, depending on what area you're in. So I'm gonna break this down. Matt, am I able to do it on the board here? Yeah. Are you all right? Switch over to the mics. I don't know. All right. Anyway, let's get rid of this. All right, you guys get it. You guys will see 6 videos on my YouTube channel breaking this all down. It's awesome. So what we do is this. Here in Phoenix right now, we get the after repair value, right? That's if it's beautiful. And then we multiply that by 80%. Now, in the heyday, it was 90% up until June of last year. And then we went down to 70%, but now it's back up to 80%. This is for all you guys that are in Phoenix, right? Make sure that you're running your numbers off of this because people are getting a lot more aggressive with their offers. And then you minus the estimated repairs. And then that is your wholesale price. And then you have to determine, well, I want to make $20,000 on this thing. So then that is your max allowable offer to the property owner. And by the way, this covers their profit. This covers the commissions that they have with their agents. This covers the closing costs. That covers everything in there. All right. And then you subtract their wholesale price. This is what you tell the agent, Rio. This is the price that you tell the agent because you've already got it locked up lower at this price. Got it? Does that make sense, guys? Yeah? Pretty simple? Got it? All right, cool. Rio, let me know if you need some further explanation of that. Awesome. Next question. Maj. Brent, do you ever take seller calls still? If you do you take them while you're at the gym? No, I don't. I've completely replaced myself with way better people in each role. Ryan Thornton, my acquisition manager, is the best in the world. I mean, he's absolutely incredible. He was a police officer for 12 years. He understands. I mean, he does things that just blow my mind on a daily basis, let alone Chad, my junior acquisition manager. He's really the one doing the heavy lifting. He's really the one chopping wood, carrying water. He calls on average 53. He outbounds 53 calls a day for the lead follow-up. He shortens the timeline with our leads or disqualifies them and then gets them over to Ryan, and Ryan goes on the appointments and closing them. I have a theory, and it's worked out well for the last 3 years, that you have one of your acquisition managers in the office at all times and one on the streets at all times. If they do both, it can certainly work, but I've just found it a lot more efficient for one to be continuing to do the lead follow-up and shortening the timeline, and one going out on the appointments, because it takes a lot of time. Like Phoenix is a really, really big city. Maricopa County is one of the biggest counties in the country, and it's a lot of driving. And so when you're driving, you're typically not making a tremendous amount of lead follow-up calls. So, yeah. And no, I don't take any at the gym. I'm laser focused in the gym. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah. Marcellus Wallace, Brent, if you were starting out as a wholesaler in this current market, what list would you pull? Would you start in your backyard, even if it's competitive like SoCal? Yeah, I would only do land and driving for dollars in SoCal. I wouldn't pull the lists and do that unless they're like a vacant list or a niche list, like inherited through US Leads list or something like that. But you can have you can do a tremendous amount of deals with just driving for dollars and land and the US Leads list inherited probates. But yeah, I would start in my backyard and just start making calls, just start going after it, and then just start building up the pipeline of opportunities for sure. Yep, great question. And the other thing I would say, Marcellus, is I would do my backyard, but I would also pull a lower priced market. One that I'm familiar with, one that I could squat up with somebody in, and I would pull a list of 300 addresses in that market, and I would start calling through and see if it's a better conversation. Kimberly Nicole Kleem, awesome name. I've got 3 lending deals out currently, 150K with 30K return, 430K out, 107.5K return, and 115 out with 25K return, all within 60 days, and are hoping to wholesale our first deal Wednesday in Sinise, California, that we got off market from an Astro Blaster agent. Thanks, guys. Congratulations, Kimberly Nicole Kleem. Come on. Listen, I'll tell you what, Pace is going to go and he's going to buy up all the properties everywhere, and he's going to build a huge rental portfolio. And that's his strategy. My strategy is stack as much money and be like Kimberly, lend that money out. I believe, this is just my belief, that the bank is the top of the pyramid. The bank is the top of the pyramid. And I see the lifestyle of the hard money lenders in our town and in other towns, and it is unmatched. It is unmatched. I mean, these guys, oh my gosh, they're making tremendous profits. They can't lend enough money. They're secured by real estate. That's my goal in all of this. Credible wholesaling business, put it in, take the cash, put it into lending, and build that and roll that and roll that. And I won't live off that. And I don't think, listen, if you think that you're going to live off rental income, you're making a huge mistake. Rental income is just the cherry on top. Because the fact is, you're going to have, let's just say that you make $500 a month in passive income from it, which is incredible, which you can in a lot of these markets, especially if they're lower price markets. But Google it. The average cost for a property is $3,500 to $5,500 a year in repairs and just updating, not even updating, just owning it. So you really don't cash flow anything on most deals. I mean, you do some more. It's more of an appreciation game, depreciation game, debt payoff game, that type of thing. And that's just my opinion. I mean, you guys will hear from plenty of other incredible people and their opinions, but my plan, make a ton of money, lend that money at 12, 14%, earn a point or two each time that I do it, roll it, build a business behind that, have somebody run that, and then just do whatever I want, which is awesome. Be the bank. Marcellus Wallace, what is your monthly overhead? It recently went up because we started doing pay-per-click and TV. And so it was 30,000 a month, and now it's 70,000 a month right now, but that just ramped up. So we're really pushing for 2 million this year, but really I'm not looking at that to hit until like 3-4 million in the next couple of years, keeping pretty lean. But you want to keep it around 50% profitability, which is really difficult to do as you start getting to those higher prices. Anthony, What's the best method for managing buyer and seller leads info? A spreadsheet, an app, a software, a website, handwritten notes. I love it. I did it all. Matt, can you get that accordion binder somewhere, wherever that is? Is it under me? Oh, I did it all with this until my first $1 million. It's just an accordion binder. And I had lead sheets. You can get them at wholesalinginc.com that kind of keep you organized. And I would fill out these lead sheets and I would put it in here. And I had a different one. This is the 12-month one, but I had a 31-day one. And if it was, what's today's date? 21st. If it was the 21st, I would pull it out and then I would just follow up with all those leads, write my notes, decide when I was going to follow up with them again and put it in there. Because here's the thing. People will get lost. You want to see, you want to see the people that make the least amount of money wholesaling. It's the people that are like really into their CRM. You know what I mean? Like they're just, oh yeah, I'm getting in there and I'm setting up the automations and I'm doing all these other things. And it's like, how many deals have you done? Well, I'm working on my first one. It's like, okay. Again, that goes back to creative avoidance, right? Don't do that. Keep it very simple. Keep it super dumb. Like the dumbest people in this business make the most money, without a doubt. They just take action. They're just trying to find people that they can solve their problems, and they don't overthink it. So that's what I would do off the bat. Now, listen, once you have a team, you're going to have to get a CRM, and anyone's fine. Just make sure that it's simple and it tracks tracks the tasks, and you'll be good. Somebody's screaming outside my office. Estimate. Brent, if we are doing 60%, are you still subtracting repairs plus fee to get your MAO? Typically not. Corey buys co-houses. Usually that'll get you pretty close to what your max allowable offer is for the property owner. And then you add on top of that what you want to make. But it's pretty close. It's kind of built in into the calculation as well, but you'll be pretty close. That used to be 66%. And then I dropped it to 50%. Now we're back up to 60%. But by the way, guys, Jamil has an incredible couple days of comping that should not be missed. And I'm sure if you register, that you get the replay on it. He's absolutely incredible. Cool. Brett, I created a pre-foreclosure list, skip traced the address for 10 cents. Most people seem to be in denial and said there is no problem here. In your experience, how often is there denial? All day, every day. You could call somebody that has a house that's literally on fire and they're going to be like, no, I want full market value. Your house is on fire, literally. No, I want full market. The land is where the value's at. Who knows? Listen, we're deal finders, not deal creators. We're just deal finders, not deal creators. So therefore, it is a numbers game. Now, are there people that are going to give us stiff arms? Are there people that are going to put up the force field and kind of, mess with us until they feel comfortable? Absolutely. Confirm and approve. And my suggestion is, if it's an ugly house, go on that appointment. You know what? I am actually, they want 500,000. You look it up at Zillow for 330, whatever. Go on that appointment. I'm telling you, Ryan just locked up a deal. He wanted 375. This estimate was 410. Beautiful house, like carpet and paint, like truly. And we don't run across these often. Newer property, built after 2000, tile roof, stucco house. That's what we have in Arizona. Beautiful master plan community. Went on the appointment, got it for 310. We're going to close on it and literally just put it on the market, make 50K. You never know. Just go on those appointments. It's probably a terrible example because I said go on ugly houses, but the guy was, he was motivated. So if they're motivated or have an ugly house, go with that. There you go. What else we got, Matt? We got questions?
No, I got more. I was double reading them.
Oh, he's double reading them. Nav, how do you go about setting both leading and lagging metrics for both your acquisition and disposition side of the business? For context, this would be a direct for agent model. Thank you, my man. That sounds like you are really smart. I don't know what any of that means. No, I do, obviously, but you should know the amount of leads that are in your pipeline, and you should know how many hot leads you have, how many warm leads you have, and how many deals that you currently have under contract. So with acquisition managers, you just want to make sure that they're doing lead follow-up all day long. Your job is to dump the leads in the top. And so, I mean, they just go and lock it up. They got to build the skills to go and lock it up. I mean, on the disposition, leading and lagging, I don't know, bro. We talk to people all day long. We do deals, and it's a good business. I don't know. I don't overthink it. Probably have to ask a more successful analytical that question. Femi, where do you get those lead sheets? Wholesalinginc.com. Wholesalinginc.com. Yeah. That's there it is. It's right there. Click it after the show because we got much more to go. There you go. I think that rhymes. Susie, I made $15K in my first deal, working on my second for $25K, but wondering about agency disclosures. The guy who runs real estate school around here says I need to disclose I am an agent. All right. First of all, Susie, here you go. Second of all, we have it built into our contract. In Arizona, you have to disclose if you have a real estate license. So we just put in there. Principal of the LLC or owner of the LLC has an active real estate license. We put it right into the contract. So it's no big deal. Yeah. Super easy. And I think that's most states too. Yeah. Ricky Hines, Brent, how would you go about getting wholesalers to give you access to talk to the seller? Trust. Most of them think that you're going to try to backdoor them. That's why they don't want you to talk to the seller. So that's really the biggest thing. You got to build a relationship with those wholesalers that they understand, that you understand the rules, right? And so they're just scared to death that you're going to go, and like so many people. I mean, this happens every day to every single one of our leads. If we put it out, somebody showing up at their door. There's like a couple groups in town. They don't last long, but they pop up all of a sudden out of nowhere, and they take our blast and they knock on the door and they say, "Hey, they're trying to sell this deal. Did you know that? How much did you sell it to them for? I'll make you a better offer." They're literally trying to get the seller to breach the contract. You could sue the seller. You could sue them, certainly, but now they're getting put in a place where now they might be able to, they're encouraging them to breach a signed contract. It's gross. It's dirty. So, I mean, if you want to go and talk to the sellers on a deal that you're buying, you need to be really, really, really clear on what you're communicating, what you're asking, and build the trust with that wholesaler. Cool. That's crazy. Marcellus, Brent, Scottsdale median list price is now right around $1 million price point. Back in the day, what was the upper price point for Phoenix and East Valley? How much was rent? I don't know. Just depends on how far back in the day it was. I mean, if it was 1960s, there was like 14 people in Phoenix. So, yeah, I mean, it's up there. I mean, 500, 600, 400. We're not a rental. Listen, you have to understand, like, there's rental markets and there's appreciation markets. San Diego is not a rental market. Phoenix is not a rental market. Austin is not a rental market. Dallas, maybe on the outskirts. Chicago is not a rental market. These are not rental markets unless it's multifamily. That's different. But if you're talking single family condos, townhomes, this is an appreciation market. The beautiful thing is, typically in states where the lending is easy, there's not a lot of restrictions, and there's a lot of economy going to it, appreciation wins the day. I mean, appreciation is fantastic. But a lot of people, I don't understand this. A lot of people buy properties that are in the middle of nowhere, turnkey rentals, which is a huge trap. Turnkey rentals, they buy properties that give them great cash flow, but no appreciation ever. So then you get a tenant in there, they beat your property to hell. You have to go and renovate it all the time. And then when you go to sell, you have to sell to an investor because it's usually beat up and people are looking for cash flow, I guess, depreciation, I guess. I don't know. I think if you're going to buy properties, you should buy somewhere where it's going to appreciate like crazy. I really do. I think if you live in a market where there's just not a lot of appreciation, save up your money and buy in a place that is. I think it's powerful. Scott and Denise, wonderful picture. You cute couple, you. Hello, Brent. How would you advise a new wholesaler to overcome the objection, you have not done enough deals? Thank you for your time. Yeah, you know what? We haven't. I know that we could do a great job for you, but are you looking to work with one of the bigger companies? Deal finders, not deal creators, and we're truth tellers, truth seekers. You're not gonna lie to them. We're a small family business. We're just getting started. We got a lot of passion for this business. We'd love to do business with you. And sometimes with those bigger companies, you're just kind of one of many, and we want to give you a more intimate experience. So is that something you're looking for? Or are you looking to work for somebody that is doing a lot of business? Totally understand either way. See how you're kind of pulling back, but you're telling them the truth and you're feeling confident about it. So that's worked a lot. That's worked a lot with a lot of my new students, is you just hit them between the eyes. You're absolutely right. I haven't closed a lot, but I'm working with somebody that has. I mean, you could leverage me if you want, Scott and Denise. You could say, we haven't done, but we're partnered. I'll be your partner. I'll be your, mental partner or emotional partner, whatever you want. We could be partners. Doesn't have to be like a written part. Yeah, my partner's been doing it since 2004. Why not? Find somebody in your market that you can partner up with. It's cool. There you go. Corey buys co-houses. When cold calling on a foreclosure list, do you leave voicemails if they don't answer? And if so, can you give a good example? I don't like the voicemails. Some people do, and it's okay. The problem I have with leaving voicemails when you're cold calling is it ruins your momentum. Because now somebody's calling you back and you're like, oh, I better answer this so that I get a contact. And they're like, who's this? And you're like, yeah, I was just calling to see, thank you so much for calling me back. I was calling to discuss the offer for your property. It's probably the best response. They're like, what offer? What are you talking about? What's going on? Right. Then you can get into it. And, but if not, if you're like, yeah, so I just was calling to see if you, would sell your property. They're like, which one? And you're like, I'm not in front of my computer right now. So, what property were you thinking about selling? Right. So it kind of puts you on the back foot. It kind of ruins the momentum. But if you were, I would say, hi, my name is Brent. I know that this is completely out of the blue. But I was calling about your property on 1212 Banana Street. I'm actually interested in buying a home in your neighborhood, and I just wanted to leave you a message and see if you would consider an offer on your property there. To completely understand if you have no interest in selling, but if you could call me back either way, that way I don't keep bugging you, that'd be really great. Again, my number is blah, 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 blah. My number is blah, 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 blah. Say it twice and then go. So that's what I would do. And it's a pre-foreclosure list. Foreclosure lists are properties that foreclosed, not to nuance here. It's like when people say realtor, it's realtor. Okay. But the pre-foreclosure list is the one before they foreclose. After they foreclose, they're foreclosed and it's bank owned and you don't want to mess with it. So if somebody's giving you a foreclosure list, it's probably not the list you want. Integ Coast, how do you find an owner if skip tracing doesn't find the owner info? Well, you can knock on the door. You can go and knock on the house next to the door you want on each side and 3 across the street and see if any of the neighbors have the contact information. If you really want to get nitty gritty, hire a private detective. They got all the tools. Yeah. But it's a little expensive. Depends. Okay, the essential, looking cool. Any tips on wholesaling commercial real estate? Absolutely. Talk to the commercial brokers. Do you know that for the first 10 years in commercial real estate, they just have to cold call all day long? All day long. 10 years to build their book of business. They talk to everybody. Because I think only 9% of real estate is commercial property or zoned commercial property. So it's not a tremendous amount, just depending on where it's at. But they try to talk to every single seller and every single buyer. and they have all the buyers. Okay. They have all the buyers. They'll let you know what prices work. You can go on loopnet.com and look for comps of properties in the zip code or city that are similar to yours, whether it be an office, whether it be medical, whether it be a restaurant, whether it be retail, whatever it is, multifamily, warehouse, industrial, whatever. But you probably want to go through a commercial broker for the buyer. They've got all of them. And that's really helpful. Beverly, once you have a contract, how long do you tell the owner it will take to close? If I have no buyers yet, how long will it take me to find a buyer? Well, that depends on the deal, Beverly. So it depends. Typically, it's a 2-week to 30-day close. The faster, the better. Time kills all deals. And the longer it's out there, if you have a long close of escrow, then there's a lot of people that like kind of pour honey into the ear of the seller to try to convince them to list it with their realtor or sell it to a family member or let me buy your house. You know, it's me calling them saying, what? You already sold your house to Beverly? What's she doing for you? I'm way better. No, I wouldn't say that, Beverly, but people do. And so try to get it as short, try to do it in 2 weeks and 30 days. If you have to, and typically they need some time to move. If you have no buyers, it just depends. It depends on how good the deal is. You can call up and start talking to buyers right away. You can literally go on Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. You can look at a listing of a property that is flipped. If you're on Realtor.com, you can see the ones that are under contract. Those are the best to call. You call up that agent and you say, hey, something nice. This is something that I learned from Jamil. Say something nice about their remodel, something very distinctive. Oh my gosh, that textured wall was amazing. You guys did an incredible job. I actually just put a property under contract and I wanted to see if you or your clients wanted to take a look at it to do another project in the area, right? Do another flip in the area. Buy another property in the area, however you want to phrase it. And then you could just start calling the people that do flips because this is their business. And then you can just start calling all the properties that are under contract or active and start building that up. You can go on to Facebook. And my little secret strategy for Facebook groups is not to just go in there and scrape all the information from all the posts. I want to reach out to the person that created that group and with a deal and talk to them because they know everybody, right? They're going to know everybody typically, and they're going to be pretty experienced. So you just send them a DM and start that relationship. Or you can just Google bid at foreclosure auctions, find the companies that bid at foreclosure auctions, have a conversation with them. They have all the buyers. So there you go. So you and smoke and deal, you could have that sold in the first conversation. And then obviously build up your pipeline. Amy, got my first deal under contract in Prosper, 2 acres with a home, need renovation. I'm being told by the company, the title company, that the contract cannot include an assignment fee. They say no profit can be made. What? I've never heard of that, Amy. I would change your title company. So you have it under contract. They're saying that you can't assign it and get income. Where is Prosper? Is it in Illinois? If it's in a state that requires a license, there might be something there, but typically you're allowed to do at least one. So check that. But in Texas, oh come on, doing deals all the time in Texas. Yeah, go find a different title company. I would see what's going on. If you could explain a little bit more on what they're saying to you, I'd be real curious because I'd love to unravel that. All right. Thanks, Matt. Under a new sun. Question. Hi, Brent. When comping, if 2 houses are essentially the same except for their ages, what are the best practices for adjusting ARV of your target property? It just depends. I mean, if it's plus or minus 15 years, the appraisers are going to use it. It just depends on the architecture. You know what I mean? Like the 70s was like the worst era of floor plans of all time. It's just awful, just weird floor plans. People are getting real wacky with it. So if you have a 70s and then you have a 90s, and the 90s has more of a traditional floor plan, in the 70s, you have to like take 3 steps down to go to the kitchen and 4 steps up to go to the bathroom. And, you've got a fireplace in the middle of the, whatever living room, but it's like totally, dominating the whole thing. It's more floor plan than it is age. And it depends on how close they are. I mean, obviously if they're in this, that's why you go neighborhood first and then expand out from there, because usually that neighborhood's pretty consistent with the architecture. But if you're going way out and it's the same size, but the floor plan's all different, it's night and day. And historic houses, don't even get me started. I mean, historic houses get a premium. They're so charming. Oh my God, what a cute house. What a cute house this is. They don't build them like they used to. Is this a Sears house? Look that up. Sears house. They would just send it to you. They would just ship you houses and you had to build it yourself. Awesome. Jeff, have you had any issues with people on the do not call list when cold calling? No. If we run across it, people say, I'm on the do not call. I'm so sorry. I'll remove you immediately. Move on. But we've made millions of calls. Kareem. Hey, Brent, I did my first wholesale deal back in 2019, pulling from a probate list. From knowing zero to close in 4 months, I fell out of the game due to burnout. Want to get back in. Should I hire a VA to cold call? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Build the skill, Kareem. Build the skill. Build the skill of effectively communicating with property owners. Until you talk to 1,000 people yourself, this is for everybody, not just you, Kareem. Until you talk to 1,000 people yourself, don't hire anybody. I'm serious. This whole just hire VA. I am telling you, I get, I don't know, 10 DMs a day, probably 4 texts from people in the Rhino tribe that tell me, oh my gosh, I put my money into these VAs. They were sending me, I'll read you one right now. Literally from today. You want me to prove it? I'll prove it. You want me to do this? I'll do it right here. This is great. Where is he? Yeah, here it is. Use them 9 months. First 3 months was good. And then it went bad. Mainly terrible lead quality. And it seemed like they were shutting my campaign down for the day after getting my guaranteed 2 leads per day. They were also submitting leads from states that weren't on any of our lists, which made me question if they were giving us other people's leads and vice versa. Do the calls yourself and hire and pay for quality callers. I pay Fran $24 an hour. She made me $800,000 last year. Let that sink in. It was like I don't know what that is. It's like a 25 times ROI or something silly. It was incredible. I would find somebody that's really, really good, and to build up your marketing budget, go out and get some deals. But do the calls yourself. Talk to 1,000 people. That's a skill that nobody can take from you. After 1,000 conversations with property owners, you're going to feel bulletproof. Or agents, I don't care. Just talk to 1,000 people about real estate. Especially if you're just getting started out. You're going to be so powerful. You're going to feel unbelievable. Awesome. Michael Reyes, we just got a property signed. We're going to make $59,000. I know you are, brother. I know you are. Here we go. That's a Rhino. We do massive deals in the Rhino tribe. That's just a fact. When you go direct to property owner, you get massive deals. It's just the truth. You could get massive deals going through an agent. You can go massive deals wholesaling for other people. We made $51,000 on a deal that was assigned to us from another wholesaler earlier this year. But to get consistent, it's direct to seller. I'm telling you guys, direct to seller truly is. Michael's doing amazing, absolutely amazing. Congratulations, brother, my man, Dimitri von Kamp. You guys know about this guy? Lives in Belgium, does 100 deals a year in Florida. He's incredible. Brent, at what point would you decide, if ever, to just completely focus on managing and selecting the investments which you acquire from wholesaling? The math changes through the years. Yeah, it's absolutely the truth. It just depends. Dimitri, I don't want to own a lot of rental properties. I want to be the bank. I had a lot of rental properties. And this is a conversation I've had with Jerry Norton a bunch. Jerry had a tremendous amount of them, sold them all. It's like, no, the bank's where it's at. And that's just, that's my strategy. I'll probably pick up a property every single year. And it might be a commercial property. It might be multifamily. It might be a single family. I don't know, but I will tell you, it'll be in good school districts, good areas, 100%. And then the rest of it's going to be for building a bank. That's what I want to leave. I'd be, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm 41 years old. I don't know. Maybe at 45, I'll just be like, oh my gosh, I got to buy more properties. But right now, Dimitri, I just want to be the bank. I see these hard money lenders, man, and they are just 5 o'clock Friday. It's done. They're done for the weekend. Holidays, forget about it. I mean, the banks own the best real estate. I don't know if there's something hand in there. So maybe be the bank and buy a bunch of great real estate. But that's my strategy. Starting to get thin. Guys, we need some more questions. We got 19 more minutes, or I can just stand up here and go through the 20 skills again. I'm going to do that anyway, just so it's really sinks in, and take a picture of the 20 skills once I flip it back around. But I've got a real cool breakdown. I'm really proud of what we did. Matt and I shot some incredible breakdown on the 20 skills, and I think it'll really make sense. So yeah. Jim, Brent, how's the fix and flip market in Maricopa? You know what's amazing? Here's what's amazing. When these interest rates went up, the flippers got stuck. They got stuck because we're a payment society. And so the payments on their flips went through the roof. So now all of the buyers that were looking up here have to look down here, and they're like, okay, I don't know if I want this property. I'll just stay still. And then that kind of went through its cycle, and they unloaded those properties. And now, listen, never in the history of the United States, maybe any country, but I can't speak for the rest of the world. Never has there been a decade from 2000, really it was 12 years, from 2010 to 2022, where the interest rates were 2, 3, 4, 5%. And then they shot up. And so all of the people that have these 2, 3, 4, 5% say to themselves, this is pretty nice. I like my payment here. They go and they look at Zillow and they look at Redfin, and they're looking at these bigger properties that they want to buy. And then they look down at what the estimated mortgage is going to be. And they're like, no, I'm going to stay still. So we have a tremendous amount of frozen inventory. I hope the interest rates keep going up, because it's great for us. It's phenomenal for us, because guess what properties are selling right now? Second homes, investment properties, flips, and people that need to relocate. I mean, look, there's 1.5 million less properties that'll sell this year than last year. Still babies being born. Still super good medicine keeping people alive longer. So listen, we got more people, we got less houses. And so it's a supply and demand thing. So now we're seeing buyers like chomp at the bit for every single deal that we have, because they know they're going to make a fortune when they flip this thing, because there's no properties. Try going putting a non-renovated, non-clean house on the market right now. Nobody's going to buy it. Nobody's buying them. So they're buying the beautiful, clean properties, because they can convince themselves through emotions that this house is so beautiful, you must have it. We're gonna marry the house, but we're gonna date the rate. And as soon as interest rates go down, we're gonna refinance, and we're gonna be in the home of our dreams. People don't say that for houses that haven't been renovated. Come on. Unless the price point's right, but you know. So right now is a phenomenal time for flippers. Right now is a phenomenal time. And that makes it great for us. Jakai. Hey, Brent, sorry. Has the average rehab estimate changed at all? I still use a fix and flip calculator, 2023 edition that you shared back in March, but according to my buyers, my numbers are off. Yeah, then adjust. I mean, listen, they're going to tell you. It just depends on what market you're in. Matt, can you put that up? I would say that I would increase it for real. I would increase the repair budgets on these things for sure. Just because it's things are more expensive. Yeah, here it is. So there's really 3 buckets, right? It's an easy remodel. It's just carpet and paint, needs work, needs some more renovation. Wow, this is bad. And then add 10K for every major item. I would probably bump all of this up 10K. Yeah. I would bump this up 10K each of it just because it's crazy. It is crazy. I'm putting on like an extra deck at my cabin in the woods, and it's like $50,000. You know what I mean? It's like $78,000. Somehow it ballooned to $78,000 because I'm gonna paint the metal roof to match it. It's wild. Absolutely wild. Worth it for sure. But yeah, things are expensive for sure. If agents are bringing us wholesale deals that are in the $1 million plus range, how do we go about negotiating earnest money deposit? It's common for them to ask for 10K plus earnest. Yeah. Be ready for 1%. For sure. Guys, if you're working with an agent, it's going to be 1% like most of the time. I mean, I'm not the master at it. What is it? Are they asking for 1%? Yeah. Flat 500? 5,000 for the agents? Yeah. For agent deals? Flat 5,000 here. Yep. Really common. So they want more. And that's a fun one to play around with, Marcellus, because if you have a smoking deal, if I have a smoking deal, I'll say, listen, I'll give you 10,000 non-refundable released to the seller today. I will give the seller a $10,000 check today if they accept my offer. That's how crazy this market is. So, yeah, just know you're negotiating against that. So you got to be real confident. Lenny, how to not get in legal matters when wholesaling? Okay, don't be unethical or don't do anything illegal. I mean, listen, business, there's right ways and there's wrong ways to do this. Everything should be outlined in your purchase agreement. So if everything's outlined in your purchase agreement, that's really that is the blueprint of what's going to happen between the relationship between that seller and you. Now, as soon as we have this deal under contract, it turns into an asset. That's the craziest thing. I was out at a dad's night with my son's school, and I was talking to this guy, and he was kind of gruff, and he kind of looked like a toad, to be honest. And he was like, "That sounds illegal," and I was like, "Well, as soon as we have this agreement, there's nothing stopping me from selling this agreement." And I shouldn't have even gone to it. I'm going to just start saying I'm a flipper when I'm out there talking to my, the parents of kids. Yeah, I just flip houses. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Anyway, I get excited about wholesaling. I'm proud to be a wholesaler. I like saying stuff like that, but it blows people's minds. They're like, oh, what is happening? The sky is red. Everything's upside down. But yeah, I mean, legal matter, everything should be on the contract, and then just make sure that what's on the contract gets done. And don't lie. Truth teller, truth seeker, and do what's in the best interest of the property owner. Listen, if you've got somebody, this is where people get in trouble. People get in trouble when it's older people that don't have counsel. I will not do a deal with an older person unless they have an attorney or a family member that signs off on it, without a doubt. Just that's just practice. Nothing because anything happened, nothing because of any lawsuits, nothing because of anything. It just makes me sleep good at night. And, you can make money and not sleep good at night, which is what's the point? So, I think that's where a lot of the things kind of get caught up, at least in some of the articles and some of the suits that I've seen. But there's people that are scammers out there. I mean, there are literally people in every market that are locking property owners under contract with no intention of buying it, with no ability to buy it, and then they record a memorandum of that. They'll lock it up for whatever. You want 300? It happened to you? Yeah. Called the FBI. Yep. Yeah. So people will, well, that's a couple. I mean, literally, you could go out there and just write a deed and stamp it and say that you own something, which, is illegal. But what people are doing now is they're locking up a deal that I would pay $250,000 for. They're locking it up at $400,000, whatever the seller wants. And then they're recording a memorandum of that. And then they just wait around until the seller has to sell to somebody else. They come to me. It's got a memorandum on it. And we go, what is going on here? And they go, give me 10,000 or we're not removing the memorandum. They're going to foreclose in 2 weeks. What are we talking about here? You want $10,000 for what? So what Ryan did, this is why Ryan's the best. Ryan is the best. This is what he did. He goes, okay, great. He looked up, he found all the like relatives of these people, right? And he goes, well, listen, when we go to court, there's going to be character witnesses. And before that happens, I'm going to call up and I'm going to talk to Sue, and I'm going to talk to Patrick, and I'm going to talk to Bill, and I'm going to talk to all your family members, and I'm going to find out about you. So I'm going to call them up and I'm going to tell them what you're doing on this property right here. Their phone number is 480-765-5555, right? And this dude was like, you're not going to call them. Why would you do that? That has nothing to do with this business, blah, 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 blah. He signed away that thing within like a day. Boom. So there you go. Don't get pushed around by these scammers. Anyway, I thought that was brilliant. That's from his cop days, though. You know what I mean? So, Jared, how do you suggest approaching a realtor on an expired listing where you intend to subject to? Should I be going direct to the seller? It just depends, I think that you could probably call both of them. I would try to talk to the property owner first, but if the property owner says, everything goes through my agent, then you could talk to the agent. But I would go to the actual decision maker first. And if they prefer that you communicate with the agent, then you can get them involved. And oftentimes they do because they don't know exactly what you're talking about. And so that helps. That's it. Awesome, guys. In this last couple minutes, I want to go over one more time. Matt, do you mind switching over my mic? Guys, take a picture. Start working on this. Start thinking about this and watch the videos that I got coming out. What do you think, Matt? Next week? Next week, they're going to be 20 skills to build as a real estate entrepreneur. The stronger you are at these skills, the stronger your business is going to be. The more that you kind of sleep on some of these skills, it's going to take you longer to really get to where you want when it comes to profitability and when it comes to like really bringing on great talent and getting that consistency. All right? Time management, lead generation, pre-qualifying, lead follow-up, property valuations, recognizing potential and exit strategies, repair renovation valuation, handling objections, closing skills, offer presentation and negotiating contracts, cash buyer database, negotiating with your buyers, escrow and title. This is for, wholesaling businesses. Building your team, business planning, tracking your numbers, mindset, goal setting and motivation, money management, profitability, and understanding personality styles. Feels heavy, but you can do it. You can build it up. You can really, really build something that's long lasting. There's no point in throwing all of your efforts and all of your discipline and all of your setting aside time for this if you're not going to build something that's going to be long lasting and be the cash machine that it can be. Whatever you want to do. You want to own 1,000 doors, go bananas. You want to flip 1,000 houses? Great. I support you. I cheerlead you. I'll be as loud as possible when you win. You want to be the bank? Fantastic. You want to develop properties? Absolutely incredible. Just understand that whatever you want to do as a real estate entrepreneur is in these 20 skills. Okay? So just keep building them, keep building them, keep building them, keep building them. And you're gonna have an unbelievable business. All right? That's it. Wholesale Hotline number 183. We are done. I love you guys. If you need anything, wholesalinginc.com. We have a ton of downloads there. Make sure that you're subscribed. And remember this, that this is also a podcast. The Wholesale Hotline is a podcast, and we have a podcast episode 7 days a week. And that's with Pace Morby, original content, Jamil Damji, original content, myself, and Jerry Norton. So make sure that you check it out on Spotify and on iTunes. And if you could, it would mean a world to us if you leave a review. And that's it. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. We out.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.